Hello again, everyone. This is Gilmer, and this is episode 29 of my Let's Play Grand Campaign War in the East. I'm playing as the Soviets, and it is turn 19, October 23rd, 1941. Things are going fairly well, I would say. I'm not going to say everything's perfect because we do have certain things going on that I really don't like seeing, but I do like the fact that I am getting some of these guys caught. I really enjoy, well, not enjoy it, but I'm really feel good about somebody like this being completely cut off and not able to, get back. And this guy as well. We could, possibly try again to see if we can't bring this guy into control. No. So as you can see, attacking when it's raining or mud is very hard to do. It's not impossible, as we saw in the last episode. The Germans were able to attack during mud turns, but it's not that easy. It's not easy at all, and I'm just trying to figure out if there's any way that they will be able to break through my lines and, possibly, possibly maybe. Yeah, see, that's not going to work. These guys are in trouble. I probably should have attacked this guy instead because, yeah, he's like 5,000 men. Not that I really knew that, but if I could get that guy out of the way, I could move them down possibly and move these guys back. We'll try it again next turn, I guess. They really don't have anything to attack with. I don't know why these guys are all... Oh, well, I know why they are. Is this my guy? It is my guy. What the hell's he still doing out there? See, it's so hard to... It's really tough to tell who are your units and who aren't between these and these. You kind of can tell by the color of the hex they're on. If it's green, it's mine. If it's reddish, brownish, it's theirs, but it's still kind of tough. I think that's part of the reason why I lost these guys, to be honest. I certainly don't want to lose any more just due to, oversight, as opposed to the AI actually doing something really, spectacular and catching me off guard. I wouldn't mind that. I do mind, losing units to my own stupidity or my own carelessness. I don't know. I got the feeling that, see, these guys, they just don't look like they have the power to punch through at this point. But I could be wrong because they have been moving some of my units out of the way in certain places. Like, I think down in this area, they have had some success in there, possibly, and definitely right here. They've had success in pushing my guys out of the way, which I don't know why they're doing, you know, having such an easy time of it. Really. You know what? And these guys are still coming. I wonder if I forgot to do that last turn, because I really don't need to miss even one turn of moving these guys forward, because they're the only thing that's going to stop them. Well, the other guys could stop them too, but they will certainly help. These extra units will certainly help me in stopping them. So I don't want to ignore them and not get them up to the front lines. That would just be very poor planning on my part if I couldn't get them to the front lines as soon as possible. I just got a lot of guys that I need to move up. I think I want to pause this for a minute and then restart it so that you don't have to watch me do this. So I'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, hello, I'm back. I did move most of my units. I put a lot of them on rail and went ahead and got them as close to the front as possible, because I haven't been using my rail as much as I thought I would. I really thought I would be moving a lot more factories, but I'm not. And that's because every time I look for factories, they're very far from where they are in danger. If you ask me, Bryansk is empty. I think I've already moved them. Oh, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. Oh, these guys need to be moved, so I'm going to move them. That's 40,000, 43,000. I can live with. I mean, I really am not. I'm really not in danger of losing really anybody or any factories. That factory is somewhat in danger, but not yet. Not at least for a couple more turns at most. What about Rizhev? I keep having problems pronouncing that. Rizhev. It's a tough name, or tough city to pronounce. As you can see, there are a lot of units that are still on rails because they didn't have the strategic points to get them off of the train, but I expect them to come off of that train in the next couple of turns. What about Borovici? No, nobody there. So as you can see, there aren't that many cities. Kalinin, but it's pretty far from the front lines. So I probably should have been using rail more. What did I say about Kirovgrad? Yes, they probably need to move at some point. I think I've already looked at Odessa. There's nothing there. That's true. Chekhov. Oshakov. My bad. Nikolaev. Nothing. Kherson. Kherson. I don't know. Krivoy Rog. Yes, you can move something from there. So there are some cities, but they're not that close. I've already moved everything out of Kiev. If we go into this mode, let's take a look. lose Kiev, but I got a bad feeling that I probably will. At some point, I want to. Make sure that I have something. Sure, I have something holding these guys back, and then these guys. I don't like that, but what are you gonna do? I got these two guys offsetting him. Don't really want that airfield out there. That's a river, so I guess it would be good. I'm going to turn these factories off. Okay. Alright, let's, anything truly going on down here? Oh. Yeah, well, that's okay, I think. So, let's go ahead and turn. And now let's see what the Germans are going to do with their mud. Oops. Sorry about that. Have you heard that? That's the TV remote control. Dropped it on the floor. Let's see. They're trying. But mud just isn't conducive to conducting a lot of attacks, if you ask me. Especially to entrenched units that are across rivers or in cities or things like that. It's just very difficult for them. It's October 30th, 1941. Yeah, see, units like that, there's only 4,000 men in that, 1,800 men in that one. Why is there such little men in those? I don't know. I'll have to figure that one out, because they don't have a hope in hell of stopping people if that's how many units are actually in that's how many forces are in that unit. 90,000 men. Yeah, I see. 6,000 men, 1,600 men. You can't slow them down with that many men. I mean, it in many cases they're able to stop them, but in some cases we literally don't have enough troops, enough men, enough equipment in the unit to stop them for whatever reason. That mouse being right there, it's annoying. And so their turn is over. We won most of those battles. they won a few. I'd say we won about 10 and they won about 5 or 6. And we've lost 1,662,000 so far to their 442. I think that's still okay. Let's try to get all these guys off the train that we can. Let's actually do it for the ones closest to the fighting. And then I gotta move some more troops. Actually, I gotta move some more up from the back lines. Where were those that they were just pushing out of the way? Was it this guy? I think it was. Yeah, see, he only has 4,500 men. So let's... They only have 1,700 men, though. How many men do they have? 4,300? 10,000. Let's get him up there. Alright, there we go. 10,000 men, 6,500. See, it's just not enough. 10,000. Where did I say? Yeah. My eyesight's bad, I don't think. See, he only has 4,000 men. Let's see. 10,000 men. What else? Let's get these guys on rails. So you see what I'm doing? I'm actually getting every one of these on train. See, this guy's got 448 men. That's nothing. He has 4,300 men, 4,300 men, 4,300 men, 4,300 men, 4,300 men, 10,000 men. I think it has something to do with their headquarters. I want to get these guys they'll do the best or the most good work. There's 10,000 men there, 6,500 men there, 86 there, 4,800. Let's get him on some rails and then put him somewhere where he'll be of good use. Let's see, he has 12,000 men. He's definitely somebody I want to put in the thick of fighting. Where to, though? Well, we know... Okay. That's kind of worrying me, to be quite honest with you. There's a pretty good amount of men in those units. 1,800, 4,000, 11,000. 10,000 men in there. So we are now at the point where some of these guys are not going to have political points or the strategic points to get off the train. But some still will. So anyway, 1,700 men. See, these tank brigades, not too sure about how good they're. Now see, that tank brigade has 7,200 men. That's pretty good. You can't get off the train though. 4,000 men, 2,000 men, 2,000 men. It has something to do with their headquarters. All the ones that are attached to whatever headquarters these guys are, they all get 2,200 men. And it might be, and then there is a headquarters that has their units get 4,300 men. I probably need to sit down and just figure that out at some point. $13,000 men. Where's the best place to put him? Put him right there. Let's get these guys off train. Off train. Off train. So now we're getting to the point where we're getting a lot of these guys off their train and ready to fight. And hopefully we're going to push these sons of bitches back and just have a good time with it. You know, I think, the Russians at some point, obviously they were going through a lot of hardship, but when they started winning, I think that they were, on some level having a good time. They're winning, they're beating the living shit out of the Germans and pushing them back. Obviously some of them were still dying and there was still hardship, but I think some were in maybe a small part of their body or in their soul somewhere enjoying that they were just beating the ever-loving shit out of the Germans. I know I would have. I'll take these off. I don't know. Maybe I should just leave them on because I will be moving them again. Let's see. $2,200 men. Refit, unready. So they're still on refit. 10,000 men. They got 400 men. 13,000 men. I think you're getting the idea that they're not taking Moscow. Look at that. If they're able to get through that and take Moscow, I'll tip my hat to the people that program the AI and say, you know what, you did a good job. I know that there are some players that play a lot and do find the AI to be very insufficient for their needs, but for somebody like me, I'd have to say, yeah, your AI is pretty good compared to much of the AI I've faced in my life, because we've all played those games where the AI was just so freaking stupid. You're just thinking, how can the AI do this kind of stupid shit? Nobody in their right minds would do this. And yet the AI would do it. And we've all run into games like that where the AI was just so clueless that it was almost like you couldn't lose. You could not lose to the AI unless you were just a complete and utter moron, which meant 90% of people, that played board games beat them and beat them easily. And I think that this AI is, if it's able to take Moscow through this grouping of people or grouping of units, then my hat's off to the AI people that you built an AI that can do a decent job of cutting through human players. Now, the next time I play this game, I might completely and utterly destroy it, depending on how good I get. I mean, I might be able to figure out the AI a whole lot better and do a whole lot better. But this game, it's this time around, it's doing a pretty good job, if you ask me. I know I probably have some old-time War in the Easters who are probably just laughing at me going, man, I easily beat this AI. And my hat's off to you too, because you figured it out. Have nothing but praise for that. So as you can see, I'm moving these units up as much as possible. I mean, I know this is probably not necessarily what you want to see. I mean, it's another turn of me just moving troops to the front, but it is part of the game, and I did pause the game on the one time I did it for most of it. So you're probably going to end up having to see some of it this time around, because I don't really feel like putting it on pause again and then playing out this part. See, if I just left them on the rails, I could have just been doing this the whole time. Cuts the movement down by a tremendous amount. Rail caps at 38,000. I guess that's good enough. Don't want to use too much more. So yeah, it's progressive. See, I just got to the point where I didn't want to slog through the terrain during the rainy season like this for every one of my units. Now I'm still doing it for some of them, but this is... That guy has 11,000 men. That's a pretty good amount. See, all these down here, all these units down here have a pretty good set of equipment and men. 13,000, a couple of 2200s, 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. 10,000. 1,700. Yeah. I'm gonna call this video to a close pretty soon. 30 minutes in, and I'm just doing this, boring the living shit out of everybody, I'm sure, because it's boring me just moving units up. I don't blame you. I'm feeling the same way. That part of it's kind of drudge work. See, I still have a fair amount of grouping to move. I don't want to use up any more of my rail cap because it's already down to 38,000. We'll keep these guys on the rail line just to make sure that next turn we don't need to put them on rail, put them on trains, and get them up to the front again. As you can see, I've beefed up this a lot more because these guys were pushing my guys around. So I moved up, about 7 or 8 more units up here to kind of slow these guys down. But I'm not too worried about them because I think it would take a lot for them to get supply down through here. And then these units are just holding out as best as they can. They're doing all right. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will definitely be back. I know I took a couple of days off, and it's partly because of Memorial Day weekend, and partly because I needed a break. I needed a break from work. I needed a break from this. I needed a break from everything. I took that, and I'm feeling great, and so I'm doing more videos, and I will as I mentioned before, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.